crew? How we doing? Man, good, full room today. How we doing? Before we start, I'm going to stare into that camera and say, what's up, Lawrenceburg? Only one of them is looking at me. One of them's looking straight down. So Lawrenceburg may be looking at, like, you know, the banana pudding, which if they are, it might be better than looking at me. Let's be honest. All right. Happy birthday to everybody. This place looks great. You give it up for the ministry team. Look at this place. I'm sure it looks the same way in Lawrenceburg, too. Okay, today we are doing that face. Let's bring it back. There we go. We are actually doing a new service standard today because of a lot of the service standards being a little antiquated, maybe might be the right word, or a little too out there vague. We're trying to make it just make a little bit more sense for you. So today, this new little service standard is called Dive Deep. Everybody say dive deep. Dive deep. I like that. So, what does it mean to dive deep? Well, I was diving deep yesterday. I got up in the bullpen. I don't know if you guys saw me. I was just kind of hovering a lot. Yeah, hovering. I was just like, So here's how it goes for me. I log into my computer on Monday night, and I'm like, oh, I know we're not doing surgery. I wonder what my patient volume looks like on Tuesday. Blank. You know what that means. Everyone's business is now my business, which, that may never happen again. A totally open day. So I walk in the building, and I see Harley putting sodas in the soda machine. I'm like, hey, do I have to be anywhere today? She's like, no. And I said, do I have to be in surgery today? No. Do I have patients at 1949? No. So I camped out here, just getting to dig into things. And people love it when I do that, right? Just like, hey, what's going on here? Just poking the bear. Hey, what's going on over here? I asked Jessica like 27 questions yesterday. She was like getting stuff ready, and I was like, why are you doing it that way? And I love what she said to me. Her brain said, because it's always done it, but she's like, no, I can't say those words out loud. So let me say, because since I've been here, this has been done in a unique way that I'm currently following. And so the point I'm trying to make is that yesterday was a really great opportunity for me because I got to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit and see what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. And I want to talk about how important that is for anybody to do that. Hey, Danielle. Oh, my gosh. How are you? I was like, is that a hologram? No, that's Danielle. Oh, my gosh. Surprise. I can see you. Hey, Riley. Really? I just talked to her like 15 seconds ago. Okay, well, that's why the camera's pointing down. Okay, so 4 things right out of the bat. Just kind of what does it mean to dive deep? Number 1 is attitude. And it's this attitude of, hey, at some level, it's my responsibility to understand everything. And like, put yourself in your current role. There's probably some department, some responsibility, some system, some process that you would get exposed to infrequently, probably, and just say that's outside of my realm, right? I don't understand that, right? Here's a good example. I'm a clinical person. I get asked a question about finances. Heebie-jeebies, right? Hey, does this affect my deductible? I'm sorry. I heard finances and I blacked out a little bit, right? Or I'm in finances and I get asked a question about a clinical procedure. I can't even talk about that. I don't want to try to talk about it. I'm not a clinical person. No, thank you. Right? It's important to set boundaries on what we communicate to people. I'm not against that, but I am against refusing to understand about the processes and the systems. So it's an attitude of opportunity. I get to understand, or if I'm in finance and people are getting a lot of this procedure done, I know what Clarifix is, but what is Clarifix? How does that even work? Like, why are we doing that? Like, if I was a patient, why would I get a Clarifix? Just getting the understanding of what's going on. Why do I have to make a hot coffee beverage after somebody gets a Clarifix? Why do I do that? I mean, they tell me to do it. That's how we've always done it. But why do I do that, right? It's an attitude of trying to understand. The second thing is action. And action is like staying connected to the details. What I mean by that is if something is continually not working, it's what step can I take to see what's going on, right? How can I scratch the surface? how can I take my little penny and see if I'm a winner, right? Scratch it off to make sure what's going on underneath is real. The way this usually reinforces itself is through training, right? What is the training process here? Hey, this mistake keeps getting continually made. So what can we do differently about that? Hey, we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, it's a problem. What are we doing about it? And why? Not chastising, not criticizing, but I'm getting curious. This first is attitude. Second is action. The third is audit frequently. Look at that, AAA. I'm preaching up here. That's right, say amen. It's okay. Don't say it. Audit frequently. What I mean by that is a lot of times we're hesitant to audit. Let me know if you've ever felt this way, because we feel like if I ask somebody, hey, tell me about what you're doing there, they're going to take it personally. Right? If I'm like, hey, tell me how you did that allergy test. I'm not going to say that to them, because if I ask them, the story they're going to tell themselves is that I think they're terrible at doing allergy tests. Or tell me how you build that. I'm not going to say that, because if I say that, then they're going to think that I think that they're an idiot. Or tell me how you made that coffee beverage. I'm not going to say that, because that basically means that this is terrible. Maybe it's awesome, and I want to know how you did that. Right? I'm hesitant as the asker to do that because of the story I'm going to tell myself about how the person's going to interpret the question, right? So if I'm going to dive deep, I'm going to do 3 primary things right out of the gate. I'm going to have a right attitude, I'm going to step into action, and I'm going to audit frequently. And everyone has an innate gift when it comes to diving deep. You probably ignore it. Here's the gifting. If you ever have this sense of, I'm going to steal Morgan's word right now, this is gobbledygook. What I'm hearing right now is, this sounds like who's what's-its. Like it sounds like a bunch of good stuff that I don't understand, right? That's your personal God-given antenna on, question, I don't know what you're talking about, right? Because ultimately, if somebody's trying to explain something to you or do something, or maybe it's a process or a system you're not even involved in, if you have that feeling of this seems like mumbo jumbo, that is your antenna internally telling you, not that, hey, you don't understand anything. It's your antenna saying to you, hey, ask the question, dive deep. It's one of the service standards that we just talked about. Get in there. Everyone wants to get in there, say get in there. Love it. Okay, why does it matter? Here's the practical application of this. And why it matters is because the details are what the patients actually see. The details of the check-in process, the details of how the beverage tastes, the details of the intake, the details of their communication preoperatively, the details of their postoperative communication. What is the detail of how they get to the CT scanner? What does it sound like when they're getting a CAT scan? What does it sound like when they're having an allergy test? Those details are what define the experience. And if nobody's asking questions and just assuming, well, I handed them off to so-and-so, I think it's all going to run the way I think it's going to, right? Then we're never going to get anything significant done that's effective. Great ideas fail without great execution. And here's a good one. Metrics may look fine, but stories often tell you what's going on. Like, hey, these numbers are looking great, but I still have this feeling that something's off. And I'm encouraging you in this moment to lean into that feeling. Just like, something's off. Like, we're not getting the results I think we should get. And I'm going to have the answer, but I'm going to ask why. Explain that to me again. Second part of diving deep is it's up to you. And trust me, I feel this in the depths of my soul, is when it comes to a process that seems vague, inconsistent, poorly managed, it's so much easier to ignore it than to investigate it. I don't want to even look down. I don't want to look under the hood, right? You know, especially like you go on a cruise maybe, it's all inclusive. You've been on a diet program, you've been working out, scale's looking good. I don't want to get on that. I don't want to see what's going on there, right? Okay, we're back in it, right? So legitimately, a lot of times it's a lot easier to ignore what we don't want to find out than it is to look under the hood, right? And some of you are in leadership, and it can be really, really easy just to, like, trust me, I'm in the same boat you are, just to say, hey, I would rather forget about it or not try to understand it than to try to figure it out, because then I don't have to actually do anything about it. The second part of this is specifically in why it's up to you is we don't delegate insight. So here's what I mean by that. It can be really easy to say, hey, you got this, right? She's got it. She's going to run with it. I know she's got it figured out. I know it's going good. Now, if I hand something off, I can trust somebody to run with it. But that doesn't mean that I'm always trusting them to have the appropriate amount of insight or evaluation of the thing I've handed them, right? Perfect example yesterday when we were talking. Hey, how are you making those pledges? Well, I'm making it with this, this, and this. Okay, that's correct. That is being made correct. Good job. My job is to say, in that moment, is that the best way to make it now? Okay? So I'm not evaluating if she's doing it right or wrong. I'm evaluating the insight part of it. Is that, if I'm thinking critically about this, is there a better way to do that? I'm not delegating that. She can totally be engaged in that too, right? She can say to herself, we're using water, we're using epi, we're using lidocaine, we're using 14 markers. It's more purple than a Teletubby. People's noses are purple. It's really disgusting. Like, she can ask herself about whether it's a good idea, but I'm not delegating the responsibility of the insight and evaluation, right? Even if I've given her the responsibility of making the pledges, it's still up to me to ask myself, is it the right way to make those? Is the instruction manual correct? I'm still diving deep. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. All right, the second part of this whole dive deep is you got to have deep hide. Now, I don't know if you guys are anybody from Texas. You might know what hide is. What's hide? That's right. What's deep hide? Tough skin. That is correct. That's right. Deep hide. Now, why is that important? We're going to have a little audience participation. If I'm going to dive deep, why is it important to have deep hide? That's right. Got to be able to hear it. Okay, my age-old question. Hey, real quick, I want to touch base with you at the end of the day. What do you think? I'm getting canned. It's been fun, guys. Ariana, you and I are getting out of here because it's my last date too. Right? Every time I walk into the bullpen and I sit there and I start taking notes, no human is absolved from this. He's here because of me. He's watching because I suck. And he's trying to find evidence that I am a trash heap. And he's going to find it. Ooh. Right? That's the story we tell ourselves. Or the truth is I'm a poser. And now somebody's going to find out. And now I'm hosed. Right? If we have that mentality, the moment I say, hey, tell me about that allergy shot process, and all we're thinking about is Alyssa and what this means for Alyssa, we totally miss what does it mean for B&B Sinus and Allergy Relief Center. We totally miss how we can make it better for the patients, because now one person's like, hey, tell me about the shot process. Tell me about how we're making it better for sinus and allergy. And Alyssa's like, we're protecting Alyssa right now. Hold on. Like we are right here guarding it, right? But if we have deep hide, guess what? We can talk about that shot process all day, because it's not about me. It's about the shot process, and I'll describe it to you. Actually, and I said Alyssa out loud, because one of my favorite stories about an absolved process is Alyssa. We were interpreting allergy tests a certain way for a long time, and the way that Alyssa was taught to do it. And Alyssa walked in to the office to describe how these allergy tests were being interpreted, which was blatantly incorrect. I mean, wrong. Wrong as wrong. And with just the sweetest attitude, she was like, here's how I've been doing it. That's wrong. And I know it's wrong, and I'd like to move on. And I would ask a question, but what about X, Y, and Z? And she would say, well, that's a great point. That makes it more wrong, but it's still wrong. And I said, but what about Z, X, and B? And she at one point said, I know the words coming out of my mouth are not what you want to hear. That doesn't make them any less true. Correct. So But that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate absolution from that. Like, this isn't about Alyssa. This is about the process, and I'm reporting to you. I am reporting the news, right? I know that there was a disaster on Channel 5. Nobody's mad at the anchor, right? I'm just reporting the news, right? So let's move on. Let's reestablish the protocol, and let's go forward. And that's what we have to be, right? When Harley comes and scratches on the surface, it kind of, what in the world are you asking me that question for, right? Again, like, what does that say about me? You don't trust my opinion? You don't trust my decision making? Warren Moore starts, yo, what's going on in here? Right? What's that say about me? Like, why are you asking that question? Well, no, it's not about me. It's about the process. She's diving deep. She's trying to understand why. And if she's asking about something, there's the opportunity for something getting better, right? In order to dive deep, the people you're diving deep with have to have deep hide. Thank you. That's good. Leaders who inspect what they expect to get better. I went to a conference this weekend. I heard a really good phrase, and I'm going to 100% steal it. Because I find myself in this position a lot. I find myself, I'm responsible for all this stuff, and a lot of times I'll ignore it or not want to get into it because it just seems a little bit easier if I just don't pay attention to it. And what was said was, you're never going to be over what's been put underneath you until you learn to get under what's been put over you. Because the easy thing for us to do sometimes is be like, I hear you, bud. I hear what you're saying. You want me to dive deep. You want me to have thick skin. But like, yeah, I don't even understand my own roles and responsibilities right now. Like, I'm barely hanging on to all the changes. I'm barely hanging on to what you want me to do. So if you want me to like step into a different department and try to understand that a little better, thanks. But let me figure out my own stuff first. That's not getting under what's over you. And if you're not going to get under what's over you, you're never going to get control and get over what's under you. Last but not least, and this is kind of going into the same spirit of not delegating insight, is we always delegate, we never abdicate. And when things are running 100 miles an hour, it's very, very easy to do that. It's very, very easy to be like, we've got all these new systems we're trying to do this new food program, we're doing this pediatric thing, and then we're trying to get these balloons scheduled, and then we're trying to get allergy testing going, and then there's this random app that we're doing. Gosh, I don't know. It's really easy. Just like, hey, this one thing, can you please take care of that? And then I've got no systems in place to check it. I've got no metrics in place to hold people accountable. And even if I agree that diving deep is important, I have no system or process to do that. And even if I agree that the people I'm talking to have deep hide and they can take it, I've got no system or process to allow myself to dive deep if I just abdicate it. Hey, take care of that. I'm not going to even think about it for 6 months. Excellent question. What does abdicate mean? Prince Harry abdicated his throne to marry the love of his life. What's that mean? Anybody know? Give it up, right? So it's a kingship term. So in order to if somebody was next in line to receive the throne, and they decided kingship is not for me. I do not want to rule over a land. They would abdicate the throne to the brother, or the next person in line, or the uncle. And actually, I think that's, I don't really know a lot about. Is it right? Harry and Kate? Is that right? He had to abdicate his throne. He was not allowed to marry. What's her name? Sorry, I'm not Meghan. He wasn't allowed to marry Meghan because she doesn't come from royalty. I think, is that right? Gosh, I'm making it up as I go. I'm doing it. It's easy to figure out. What's that? Yeah. So he abdicated his throne in order to get it. So if his brother ever dies, it would go not to him because he abdicated the throne. Abdicate. So we don't do that. We don't abdicate. It's still our responsibility. We delegate. Hey, I'm going to check back in with you real quick, and let me ask you how it's going. I'm going to make sure we circle up. I have to have that, even if I believe in diving deep, even if I believe in tough hide, even if I believe it so much that I don't take notes in this room. I see you. Even if I believe those things, I don't have a system or process to make that happen. It's never going to work out for me. Final thought. Every great service that I've seen is great because someone obsessed over the details. And how many times have you had the thought, like, we have to worry about the details? We got it right. We got it across the finish line. We have to just calm down, right? Every great service has always been about somebody obsessing over the details. And the only way to obsess about the details is to understand those that you don't know. Everybody in here has a who's you what's it meter. This sounds like mumbo gumbo. I don't agree with it. Bow your heads. I'm going to put the last slide on the board here. But I really, I say this all the time, and that is the gap between amazing and okay is like this big. It's in 1 or 2 moments of a patient's experience. It's in 1 or 2 words that you say. Or, more importantly, in this room, it's in 1 or 2 questions that you don't ask because you don't feel qualified. Like, it's not my role. It's not what I do. It's not my responsibility. I'm not going to even ask. Or I try. Here's another one. I looked into that 6 months ago, but I'm not going to look into it again because, I already checked. It's done. So we're going to dive deep. We're going to stay connected to the details. And there's no task beneath us. We're going to have deep hide. We're not going to take it personal. We're going to take Alyssa's notes right there. I know the words I'm saying are not what you want to hear, but it doesn't make it any less true. You set this up. And I always delegate. I never abdicate. One question I've got, get your phone notes out for just a second. Ask yourself this question. When's the last time I had the thought that sounds like mumbo jumbo? That doesn't make sense. And what question, if you go back to that moment, would you ask? And once you write that question down, before the end of the day, I want you to go to that person, ask that question. I leave it with Harley.